Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well today. I want to send a little message out today. I'm going to talk a little bit about this Ja Morant situation. As most of you know, I talk a lot about behavior for these young people that are aspiring to be basketball players. And now you see why. I'm not going to rip into Ja, tear into him like a lot of people are doing. But I did think it was not the right thing to do when the NBA suspended him for 2 games. They said 8 games, but it was really only two. And then this rehab situation where he was supposed to go to rehab, and it seemed like that maybe lasted a week. So I'm not going to say it's all Ja's fault. He's making terrible decisions. And for that, I do blame him. But the people that are supposed to be supporting him, and I'm not going to rip into his dad, because the dad can set the parameters for what you're supposed to do. The mom can set the parameters for what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do. But it's up to you to follow through on that. So Ja has a lot of blame in this situation, but not all the blame. It is difficult when you have come from nothing, or supposedly he's coming from a middle class family. Okay, so I won't say from nothing. So he's had a decent upbringing, but middle class and then becoming a millionaire, multimillionaire instantly, two totally different worlds. And it looks like so far he's had trouble adjusting to the new world. When you get a $230 million contract, sometimes people, use that the wrong way. They start feeling like they're untouchable. As we know, no one on this earth is untouchable. So I'm hoping that the young man can get it together. I honestly think that the NBA aired when they didn't suspend him at least for a month. And now I think this year, after this incident, this latest incident, and some of the other incidents within the last few months, I think he should be suspended for a year. And I really mean that. I think you suspend him for a whole year, and then this is strike number two on him. You tell him what's expected of him, but I'm sure he knows, but he still has to follow through on it. It is Adam Silver's responsibility to make sure that Ja knows what this is about. This is a business. It's $1 billion business. If he has two choices, and the choices are his, one of the choices is his. He can choose to be a thug, that's his choice, or he can choose to be a basketball player. That's his choice and the NBA's choice. So he has to figure it out. I know he's 23 or whatever, but that is not a baby. He is grown. 18 is legal, so I don't want to hear he's a baby stuff. His brain hasn't developed. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. His brain is developed. If he's smart enough to sit there in the car and have on music and all that and riding in a car that I'm sure is his, that's paid for, he has brains. His problem is using those brains 24 hours a day. You don't go on the phone, on the video, Instagram Live, or any of that stuff brandishing a weapon. The NBA has procedures. The NBA, you sign a contract. And with that contract, there are certain things you are allowed to do. There are certain things you are not allowed to do. And this has nothing to do with the NRA and all that nonsense. And that's what it is. This is about Ja Morant's life and basketball. He can have 100 guns, but you can't be brandishing them on Instagram. The contract has stipulations within the contract. I've read the NBA contract. I've also signed one, so I know what they say. So some of the fans, sometimes they kind of go overboard talking about things they don't really understand. But yes, in the contract it says that you can't be brandishing weapons. You're not supposed to be riding motorcycles, etc. There are certain things that are not allowed, and you have two choices. You either follow the rules or you don't. I'm talking to all the young people out there, males and females. If you want to play this game, there is a certain way you must behave. I'm not really caring if you like it or not. It's just a fact. If you want to be successful in this game and possibly set your family up for a life of just fun, I mean, wow. What's better than accumulating generational wealth for your family? What's better than that? So John needs people around him that will tell him that he's messing up, and I mean really tell him, not the interview like Jalen Rose had, and that broke my heart because Jalen Rose is from Detroit, Michigan, the same city I'm from, and I don't like to skirt around anything. So I was surprised that he wouldn't come out and just tell Ja exactly what's going on, and Ja, your behavior is totally unacceptable. Jalen was trying to coddle Ja like he was 12 years old. That's not the answer. This man needs to be told about the history of the NBA and how he got to where he is in the first place, what allowed him to be able to even sign this kind of maximum contract. Never forget where you come from and study the history. If you want to play this game, study the history. I had a brother that had to take the long route, the hard route, because of his one era in his career when he punched the guy in college and knocked him out. And it cost him his college career. So now he had to go to the CBA and it just changed his life. And so he had to, do some growing up quickly. I'm fortunate that I'm very fortunate to have a very good brother that learned from his mistakes. And he learned from that mistake and he still talks about it today. George has a very long fuse. It takes a lot to get under his skin now because he's learned to think before he makes decisions. And that's where Ja is right now. He just has to learn to think before he makes decisions. But getting on him in a negative manner is not going to make things better. He needs someone that's going to really talk to him like a young man that needs love. And I'm not excusing what he's done at all. I think it's just totally ignorant behavior. But I also think it's something that could be corrected. So I'm just want to say, all you young people, I love you. Your future is in your hands. We all make mistakes, but we must correct those mistakes. But there are certain mistakes that you might not get a chance to correct. And Ja, right now, his situation is up in the air. We don't know what the NBA is going to do. Some people have said he should be banned. I know that's not going to happen. He didn't shoot a gun or anything. He brandished the weapon, which is wrong. But I don't think it should cost him his career this time. Not this time. This is strike number 2. And as we know, they had this thing about 3 strikes and you're out. I'm sure some of you watch baseball. They don't strike you out on strike number 2. You get one more opportunity. And then after that, it's to the showers. Well, in baseball, you go to the bench, but you understand what I'm saying. So this is a serious situation. I actually think the young man is a very good ball player. I just think his head is in the wrong place. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. So if I wanted to be a gangster, I could have been a gangster. But that's not what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to overcome the obstacles. I'm not perfect, never will be, but I know how to make decisions that will keep me out of jail, out of prison. I know how to do those things. And that's very important. If you want to play basketball, you must act like a basketball player. If you are out there in high school, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, your goal right now should be if you're playing sports, you don't just want to be a student athlete. Why not strive to be a scholar athlete? And that's how I feel about it. Scholar athlete. Pave the way for yourself so you can have a great future. Pave the way so you can help your family, so you can kind of give back to all the things for your mom and dad, the things they have done for you. And if you just have a mom in your life, then think about her. If you just have a dad in your life, just think about him. It's not always just about you. Well, I just wanted to vent a little bit. Ja, I'm not giving up on you. I'm actually hoping one of my friends out there in Memphis can talk to you. I actually wrote one of my friends and told him to try to reach out to you. I wish I could talk to you. Well, yeah, it would not be a beat down session, but it would be an honest session about where you want your life to go. A lot of people blame T. Morant. I don't blame T. Morant, the dad, because the dad can only do so much. I don't like some of the behavior that he was, sitting on the sidelines, like him and Ja were friends and all that. But I noticed lately T has been out of the spotlight. He's been quiet. So can't blame dad. He's been quiet in the public eye, but Ja's still making bad decisions. That wasn't dad sitting in the car with Ja on Saturday. That was one of his friends who also tried to help if you really paid attention. The friend put the phone down when he saw Ja pull the gun out. So I can't blame the friend about Ja's behavior. That music they were listening to was crazy, but this is 2023, so I guess that's just par for the course. But just make better decisions, Ja. I hope after this, oh boy, it's sad, man. But after the NBA makes their decision on the discipline, I hope whatever it may be that you come back a better man. And as you're doing that, you'll come back as a better ball player. Be true to yourself. Be true to your family. Be true to your team, Ja. This is not just a message for you. This is a message for all the young people out here that want to play basketball or sports in general, pro sports. The time is now. Listen and learn so that you can be successful. I hope everybody has a great week out there. Stay safe. Take care of your families. And I'm down here in Texas, so as you know, I'll say it again. Viva San Antonio! Take care. Everybody have a great